We hear these myths all the time from buyers looking to buy a home in Raleigh or the Triangle area.
And today, we're going to clear up what's actually true about buying a home in Raleigh. I'm Davis Holt, a local realtor here in the Raleigh area.
And I'm Whitney Greenway, and we're here to help you find your place in the Triangle.
It's also very cold out here.
Welcome to Living in Raleigh.
I'm Davis Holt.
I'm Whitney Greenway.
And we're here to help you
Find your place
in the Triangle.
This myth alone stops buyers from getting started.
And putting 20% down is just not necessary, or is it true that you have to? There's many different options out there where you can put down 5, 10, 15, or 20% if you want to, but it's not necessary that you have to do 20. In fact, there's so many options. I think getting with a lender and understanding what makes sense. It might make better sense for you to put 10% down in your loan and save another 10% in cash. So people really need to look at their specific situation to understand what's best for them. But you can absolutely buy a home without 20% down. And in a lot of scenarios, it might make the most sense to do so.
Trying to time the market is one of the hardest things buyers attempt.
Yeah, and if you've been trying to time the market to get back to 3% rates, you've been trying to time it for about 4 years now. And I think you're going to be trying to time it for a lot longer. We always tell people, and when we meet with buyers, this is specific to your situation. You need to move for some reason. Most people don't just move for fun, although we have met those people, but most people are moving for a reason, and there's a life situation that's requiring that, and quite frankly, that situation usually doesn't care what rates are. It cares that you need to move. You can't really time the market. There's always options to refinance later. Please don't buy into the scenario of marry the house, date the rate, or something like that. That is not true. You need to buy with the understanding that this rate could last you 30 years, but it might not. And so you need to buy when you're ready at a rate you're comfortable with and at a price you're comfortable with.
This is one of the most common assumptions we hear about new builds.
Yeah, new construction, not always easier, and people always say, well, I'm only gonna look at new. Well, you should look at resale too. If a house was 2 years old, it's pretty new, right? And so there's some competitive advantages to looking at both, but a lot of people think that they don't need an agent to buy new construction. And the truth is, while that on-site agent is very nice and very kind and knows the product really well, at the end of the day, who do they work for? They work for the builder. And so you need representation, someone who understands the market and what opportunities to negotiate are there. They may tell you something that's, you might be able to negotiate on this, but the truth is a lot of times we can dig deeper and find even more value for buyers. Builders a lot of times may not negotiate on price necessarily, but they'll negotiate on closing costs or design credits or something else. They're always willing to give you something on the back of the deal rather than on the headline price. So people get focused on that, but it's important to remember you can really go find that opportunity if you're willing to work with them on that.
In North Carolina, under contract doesn't mean the deal is done.
Absolutely not. And in fact, right now, we're seeing some of the highest fallout rates that we've ever seen. So just because a house goes under contract doesn't mean it might not come back on the market. And when it does, you might even have a better chance to negotiate than you did the first time. Of course, if it does come back on the market, you're gonna wanna know the reasons why. It could be something simple, like maybe a buyer was moving here for a job and that opportunity changed. Or maybe it was an inspection issue and we wanna know what that was before we dive in. But just because something's under contract doesn't mean that you should stop paying attention to it.
If you're thinking of buying in the Raleigh or the Triangle area and these myths are concerning,
reach out to us and let us hear your specific situation and help guide you to a place that you're going to feel comfortable with and ready to move forward on something.
And if you're enjoying videos like these, please make sure to like and subscribe to our content.
Yeah, and if you've been trying to time the market to get back to 3%.
Hold on. Do it slowly. Okay.